Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. In our last tutorial, we followed up this series from topics 1 to 15, where we started out on variables. But although we have understood comments, escape characters, new characters, and especially data types and operators, which are very vital for the understanding of variables, it makes more sense to understand concatenation, because without concatenation, then we'd always face issues with variables. So concatenation is a way of joining variables and strings. It's a way of joining strings, variables, numbers, and variables, values, and variables. Okay. So there are two ways of concatenating. We have I wouldn't call it a complex way, but yeah, I even love that way more than this easy, straightforward way. Okay, so the complex way is, let me change this to the general way, because we use this in JavaScript, we use this in Java, we use this in other programming languages. Okay, but with this one, it's just a formatting uh, produced by Django or by Python per se. All right, so we'll get started in a moment and I'll show you. We'll still continue on a topic variable, but then we'll flow into concatenation and come back. The two can be learned at once. Okay, so let's see how to continue from where we stopped. So in our last class, we stopped here where we were able to create a variable. Okay, a variable, and we created a value for it. Since it was a string value, so we have these quotes around them. Please do well to check our previous video. That's video 3 on Python. Make sure you check that one on Python series. Okay, that's a continuation. We're continuing from there. So we had two variables defined, country and population, and their values. This was a string value and this was a numeric value, in which in Python or in programming we call it an integer. Okay, we're able to print anyone. If we change this to country, of course it will print Botswana, right? So but we had an issue. Let me run this again. Please just give me a minute. Okay, all right, yeah. So let me run this again. To print, please let me. So py variable dot py. So it runs this for us. Perfect. So if we change this to country, of course it will run Botswana for us, right? And if you change this to maybe Germany, to run Germany for us. Okay, change this to Qatar. It's Qatar for us. But what if we wanted to add Qatar and population together? How are we going to do this? You can see there is an error already. So you can't join two uh, different, you can't join two variables together. You can't join a variable and a string together. You can't join variable and other characters together. Okay, you can't even join two variables together. Okay, even if you did need space between them. Okay, so the way to accomplish this is what we call concatenation. The way to accomplish this is to call this. So I'll rename this file to concatenation. Concatenation py. Okay, so I renamed that file to concatenation.py. All right, so this will pose an error. So I'll show you the other way that is used in almost all the programming languages first. I'll show you the other ways that is the other way that is used in all the programming languages first before I show you the one with Python. I wouldn't call any easy because two of them are easy, right? So oh, so the other ways like this. So wherever you want to glue as in GLUE, wherever you want to gum, okay? I'm just trying to use concatenation there, or join per se, right? So wherever you want to join the you want to join, say this is just the variable you have, right? Where do you want to join it? Do you want to add something on this side? No, you don't want to add something before country, right? You want to add something after country, right? So you want to add something after country. So wherever you want to join, make sure you join with plus. Okay, that's the gum. You just apply the glue over there. Okay, and then open strings. Always do that. Open these quotes. You may, if you need space, you give space. If you don't need space, leave it like this. Okay, beautiful. So on the population variable, where do you want to add something on this side? No, you want to add something on this side. So as easy as possible, just add a plus. And there you go. It's fine now. Okay. So let me make this. We will talk about casting very soon. So this error is because of some casting issues. So, but let me make this something, maybe 5,000. Let me make it a string, 5,000. Okay, so that we don't run. We focus on what we have. So we have kata 5,000, right? So if you needed a space after that, you have that space. Then you have this kata 5,000. So that works well. Kata 2028. So that works well, right? So because they are strings, when you've used numbers, once you add these quotes around them, it becomes they become string. Okay. All right. So that's the basic stuff I wanted to show you. And what other thing? So this is basic. I'll play around with some other things. For example, let me have first name. I always like this example. John. One of my students asked me, who is John Doe? Is it your brother-in-law or your friend? So I told him it's someone every programmer knows. So if you were to print, my name is John Doe. So how would you print that? So print, normally that's a quote. For normal quote for you to write, my name is whatever, right? And this should successfully print for you. So my name is whatever will successfully print for you here, right? But yeah, this time we have variables fname and sname to call. So how do we call them? So here, right, we have two variables to call, right? Fname, sname, and then we still close our this thing. Okay. So now the thing is, if we run this, it won't work. Just want to show you how to do something easily now. My name is first name, S name, right? F name, S name, first name, last name. All right. So these are places you'll attach your glue. First and foremost, you want to attach your glue to separate the string, this string side from, remember I told you you have to apply glue anytime you are separating, anytime you are going out of, anytime you are trying to gum a variable. So we want to gum a variable here, right? We want to gum this variable here to gum here, right? F name to gum here, right? So what we do is just apply plus. Okay, we have another place here. Here and here, we can't have two variables standing beside each other. So you want to gum them. So the way we do it again, I do it a second time. We gum it. We have empty strings in, there's nothing inside of it. And then we gum it also on this other side because it's a variable. So everything looks good. My name is John Doe. So that's very easy practice to do. Okay. So with this, we can even say Doe is the surname while John is the first name. We can do that. You want to print something like this. So Doe is my surname while with comma while okay. So that's the first task I give to you. I give you this task first. Okay, you print it out. So let me see if you can do that, and I'll ask some of my students who are able to do this. Okay. Now, another thing I'd want you to print is to print John. Okay. Okay, print this again. My name is John Doe, but you add something at the end. You print my name is John Doe. Okay. And add full stop at the end. Okay. Okay. To make it more complex for you, make it to be 2 lines, print something like this. So this is an exercise for you. Students ask that I should be adding some exercises while we program so that they will make them to learn faster and better. So that's what I've decided to start doing. So yep. So my name is John Doe, and then take it to the next line. And to even make it complex, let's add this. So this should be your second task. Okay, so I want you to be able, so this is task one. This is task one here, and this should be task two. This should be task two, right? This one. All right, so be very sincere to yourself. I'm not with you there, but if you can pause this video, take the next 5 minutes, do this thing. You'll be happy with yourself, okay? Although I'm going to show you the solution to this immediately, but don't wait for the solution. That's not the best way you learn. Solve it yourself, get into errors. Once the solution comes, it's easier to just know, oh, is this place? Oh, is this last place? Oh, and then you learn faster, right? So pause the video, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, you're done. Come back to the video and play it, right? So here we go. So now for the solution. So let's work on the first solution. So we want to print this. Print. Doe is my surname. So Doe is surname. Okay. Is my surname. So this is a variable. Okay. While John, which is F name, as we see here on top here, these variables are what I'm calling here. While John is my first name. Okay, so this should work. Okay, so what we need to remember what I told you, is anything added up to on this side? No. Is anything attached on this side? Yes. This is a variable. Anything gummed to it should be able to have plus that. So you get inside that string, move inside the string. This is still a string. You get to the end of the string. Here, this is the end of that string. This is the end. I just added this space so that we have space, sweet space. Okay. And then this is another variable. So how do you join that variable to this? How do you glue it? Plus, right? It's very easy. So you want to go out of the variable, right? Don't make a mistake of going out first with this and gluing this. This is the mistake people make. So don't make this mistake, right? Don't make this mistake. This is an instruction. Don't glue a variable first by attaching it with quotes. Attach it first with a plus before the quote. Okay, that's how you glue it. Okay, so since we have name there, and there's no need for spaces on this glued side, right? So just leave them glued. Okay, so once we have that, you can have space on the string side is my first name, and since this is a string, this ends properly without any issue. So if we run this, you'll see the second line. Doe is my surname, just like this, just like we said here, while John is my first name, and it shows smoothly. So let's sort out the second one. We want it to be printed on 2 lines. Remember, we had one character called new line character, right? So you want to print my name is, okay, and we actually want to go to the next line. So backspace, I need that backspace. Backslash, sorry, I keep calling it backspace. Please, if you've looked at my previous videos and I called it backspace, please, it was an error. Backslash, okay? Okay, so let me change that back to, okay, so it's called backslash with end. So this is a new line character. So we have this new line character that will make it to go into the next line, like my name is. So after that name is, we have John Doe, right? So let's start typing that John Doe. So John Doe is F name, while Doe is S name, right? So but these are what? These are variables. So the way you do it, you still have plus here. So this quote that you started here, you terminate it here first and then add a plus here. Okay, that's beautiful. Nice work, right? So if you're able to do this, just put your hands together for yourself. Yeah. So just forget about this quote to bring them at the end, right? Okay. So this is we have two variables trying to join each other. So what do you do? Plus and quotes, just like we learned. Go out of it, then plus, right? So here, that looks good. That looks good. So we don't need this quote again. Okay. So this should print, but that's not what you were told to. My name is John Doe. This prints, but without this. So we need to add this now. So we need this first name. So we need to add this here just after the new line. We need to add another escape character. Let me copy and paste here. Okay, to escape a quote, we want to escape a quote here. New line, and we escape that quote. So well escaped now. So we need to close it here, here, and then add full stop. So how do we close it? Let's add full stop first. So to add full stop, you need plus. Since it's full stop is a string, so you just add full stop here, right? And that ends it for us. Now we need to close this, that quote we opened. So let's check this. This works with one quote on the left. You see, John Doe, but we need to close it here first. So let's close it. That is plus so best. That one is even easier. So this works perfectly. My name is John Doe before the full stop and exactly like this. So I hope you understand up to this point, and I'm really glad you'll be able to sort this out by yourself before checking the correction. So this is pretty much the first part in concatenation. I mean, when you talk about the, in quotes, complex concatenation, nothing is complex in programming, especially at Z6. We deliver complex stuff, we make them very easy. So no matter how complex this look like for you on a textbook or on any other video, I mean, any other lessons, please, we have broken it down to pieces here and you've got to understand it. If you couldn't understand it at the first run, try again. Okay, the video is just there for you to make you learn and know better. So this could have been called complex, but it's not complex. So if you're able to walk up and do all this, I mean, you are good to go, right? So if, let me just add something here. If you needed to start with, say, John here, right? You want to start with a variable, there's no point opening string. Okay, so you actually start here like f name. Okay, and then you add that string. Okay, you add that string like that. So that should give you, so where is that last one? Okay, this is, so do John, my name is John Doe. So here is it. John, my name is John Doe. We've printed several things on the page. So this is the first one we printed, this is the second one, and of course this is the last one. So John, so that's how you add. You don't need to start all of them like this. So that's another error. Be careful if there's nothing attached to um to a variable on that side. There's nothing gummed to it. There's no point using plus or going out of it or starting with this, right? So just mark that. So let's go back to what it was. So that still works well. Okay, beautiful. So let me show you the simpler concatenation. Why am I calling it simple? Both of them are simple. Concat Python formatting. So .py. So Python offers this to make life easier for those who didn't really understand this. But I still ask you to understand this, because when you get to another programming language like JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, React, the libraries, all other things, PHP, you'll actually use dots to concatenate, right? But Java, you use plus. So I mean, you really need all this knowledge at once, right? So it's better to understand it. When you get to Python, or when you get to Java, you will not have this concat formatting. I'll show you now from Python. It's only available in Python to make life easier for Python programmers, okay? So don't just be a one language programmer, right? Yeah, I wanted to, all my life, I wanted to like understand one language very well to the end and be a solid stuff there, but and then never learn other languages. But I mean, let me tell you what happens. Technology advances and languages come out, technologies come out. You have to be vast, you have to be broad. Okay, you have to have diverse skills. And besides, what actually motivated me, or what has really happened to me over the years, is I I loved a particular language, or maybe I learned a particular language. And during my study, also during my master's study, we were taught like 7 different programming languages. Now, you learn these programming languages and maybe you focus on one or two and know them very well. You build applications to the end. You understand them up to the end. Okay, but when you get to um, start applying to jobs, somebody might even say we need Java developers, and then you apply, knowing too well you know Java. you get to the interview and then they'd say, oh, it's actually JavaScript we needed, or it's actually Node.js, or it's actually PHP. Don't you have knowledge of PHP? So you, okay, or you convince them, okay, I have knowledge of Java and I can easily learn PHP if that's what you are using here, if that's the technology you are using here. So maybe they see my passion and they're obliged and they gave me the job and I started the job, but I had to learn PHP, for example, and I understood PHP, especially because of the knowledge I had from Java. I started working with PHP on industrial level, commercial experience, worked 2 years, 3 years, developing different things and understanding it very well. Have I not added one knowledge? So say I only knew Java before, I've added PHP. Now at a time, I'm not working there and I get to work in another place. So that place, you demand another language. Maybe they actually post JavaScript, but you go there, um, they're asking for something else, maybe ASP.NET, and you get to start learning ASP. Maybe you even see on their job description ASP. But this is too sweet. You really want this, too juicy. The salary they've mentioned there, you really want it. And then you start reading up on ASP.NET, you go past the interview and start working with ASP.NET. So at the end of the day, you get to know 10 or 20 languages very well. Not that you actually sat down one place to learn them on your own. So, but this, what we offer is we offer you a basic and a solid foundation and a bedrock that can help you through any programming, any language, any technology, and will make life easier for you as you proceed, not just in programming, networking, software engineering, databases, data science. We'll put up those courses as soon as possible. And as a person, I've really delved into all of these aspects, web scraping and all those things with vast experience. So I'm going to give these things out. So as you're watching, just check out the simpler format according to Python. So let's see. So let me just copy this so that we do it very well and very fast. So in the Python format, okay, so if we were to concatenate this, remember how I started? So let me comment every other thing. Let me comment this and comment this so that we just print this works, right? This second one works. So I can close this. And is this working? Okay. All right. So I can close that. And okay. So here, now with the Python formatting, all you need to remember how I started here like this. Say, so this is how it looks. As easy as ABC. So my name is fname sname, right? So it will just print my name is fname sname. So with Python formatting, all you need to do is add f just before the quote, not after the quote. So not here, not here. If you add there, it will print it f. My name is fname sname, right? So don't add it here. Add it just before the quote, outside of the quote, right? Outside of the string. Okay, and then once you do that, look for leave this quote. This is the closing quote, this is the opening one, this is the closing, and this is the opening. Okay, leave them. So look for variables. This is not a variable. Is this a variable? Yes. Is this a variable? Yes. So for every variable, wrap them with curly braces. So for every variable, you wrap them up with curly braces. Okay, and you freestyle. I mean, so that works. So my name is John. So that's how easy. So take some, this one, I shouldn't give you 3 minutes. Take just 1 minute and solve this problem we have here. At least you have the code here. Every other thing is working. All you need to do is to remove the plus and make it concatenate using the F keyword from the F formatting keyword from Python to concatenate your variables. Okay, so just 1 minute. Pause the video, do it because I'm gonna give the solution right away. So pause the video. All right, I guess you have done it. Congratulations if it worked. If it did not work, you are still the best. Okay, don't look down on yourself. Okay, at some point, all of us learn. So, how do you solve this problem? Remember, enclose everything first with quotes. So let me comment others so that they will not flow inside. So this still works the former way, right? So enclose everything with quotes. Start with quotes and end with quotes, right? End with quotes, right? Beautiful. Every other quote in between, remove them. Okay, once you are done with every other quote in between, remove all the plus in between. Is that all? That's about everything. That's the last plus. Yep. So once you are done with all the plus, the next thing you do, add F here just before the quote. That's not the last thing. The last thing would be, remember what I talked about? Enclose every variable with quotes. Okay. So if you print this is what to print. S name is my surname, while F name is my first name. So wow, you have a nice thing, but it's not functional as you may have thought. So F name and S name are variables. So enclose every variable with curly braces. So we start by doing that, and we have another variable here. And that's it. That's it. So if you run this, it tells you Doe is my surname, while John is my first name. So this looks sweet, sweet. I mean, all right, so let's work on the last one. So let's comment this other one out and work on this last one. All right, so the last one, the first rule, enclose the beginning and the end with quotes. This is already done. We have quotes at the beginning and at the end, right? Then remove every other quote in between, only quotes. So we remove this with this back slash because it was used to cancel out, that's to escape the quotes. So we are not wrong with that. We remove these other quotes, we remove this plus, right? We remove these quotes, we remove the plus, we remove this plus, be careful. And then we remove these quotes, this one, and we leave this new line character to be here, okay? Which is backslash and n, right? So we have this. So this looks good. I mean, it will still print for us. Let's see how that goes. So it still prints. My name is F name, S name, right? You don't want that. So to complete it, add F here at the beginning just before the quotes, and make sure you enclose every variable with curly braces, and this works. Don't make a mistake of enclosing it after here. It will cause an error. Full stop is not a variable, so enclose it after, before that. So if we run this, it gives us the perfect answer. My name is John Doe with full stop, and the lines are broken. So this is what I wanted to show you, and it's really nice. It's really nice, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. And another thing I'll talk about in this particular tutorial is briefly, I want to talk about casting.py. Okay, so casting, casting is a way of, not just in Python, in programming, casting in programming is a way of converting from one data type to another. One data type. Remember, we talked about data types, strings, integers. So sometimes something is in string and you need to convert it to integer. Okay, say you have an input that only accepts integer, and then so you have to be able to convert strings to integer, integer to strings, float to anyone. bool, all of them. Okay, so it's just data conversion, data conversion, data conversion. Okay, conversion of data, uh, or you just say conversion between one data type. So that is what casting is. I want to quickly show you this here. Okay, so let's say we have the reason I'm showing you is because our next topic we will talk about input. You have to understand casting because you will need casting when we discuss input, right? So let's say we have um, an integer age. Okay, let me not use age. Height, height. The height is 23. Okay, so we want to convert that to an integer. So how do we do it? We can say int height. You've converted it. So if we print this out, nothing will come out first now because we've not printed it out, but there's no error. So if we print this out, int height, okay? So, oh, I think I made a mistake. So let me just change because they have the same data type. This is an int already. This is an int already. So yes, converting it to int. So that's wrong. My bad. I take full responsibility. So let's convert it from maybe decimal to int, perhaps, and vice versa. Okay, so this is so then I'm converting it to int. So it converts from 23.875 to int. Okay, but let's convert it now from int to maybe float, which is decimal. So it converts to 23.0 for us, right? So that's a typical way of doing it. You can do it even with say this was more amount, or what should I say? Name. Let me just say name and say Abigail. And I want to convert that name to float. Let's see what happens here. So I could not convert that. So these are common errors you always find out. I just wanted to show you how that works. Wait. Oh my God. Okay. So you've seen what I mean now. All right. So just understand when and how to convert, right? So if we had, say, um, let me change this from to age, and then I'll say 35, and I'm converting it to int. Oh, what was I doing? Wait. Okay, so let me say I'm converting this age to age is 34, age is 34, and I'm converting it to float age. We've done this already, so it converts fine for us. What if I convert it to string? So with string now, okay, so convert it to string, and then um so you can convert anything, but the thing is the age. Let me show you what happens with in computing now. The age, the age is 34 actually, but this line 3 age, let me put it like this, line 1 is 34, right? Integer. But line 3 is now a string, is 34 with quotes, okay? And it's a string. How am I too sure? How am I too sure? So um so let's leave that for now. Okay, so we're going to check those types later, but for now let's have, so we understand how to cast from one, I mean, from one, whatever, from one data type to another, okay? So that's very simple. You can always cast anything to string, even if this were to be 75 point blah, 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 it will cast it to string. But remember what I told you, the casted data now has like this because it's now a string, right? Okay. All right, so note that. And another thing I want to show you still on this tutorial is what we call input. We may not complete it here, but let me just start it. Okay, we'll be using it at several times, right? So input is a function in Python that allows users to enter their input. Okay, so I can put it this way: function that allows users to input, to type in their data. Let me use that. I was told never to use the the definition title inside the definition itself. So that's why you didn't see me use that input here. So a function that allows users to type in their data type. Okay. So it's also, how can I call it? A function that accepts user input. Okay, now why did we say accept user input? All the while, what we've been doing, we've been the one supplying our input. We've been the one supplying. When we have variables, we supply John. We have this one, we supply Do. When we have casting, we have variable called H. We are the ones changing this. We don't want to be doing that all the time, right? So we want the user per se. We want another programmer, somebody who has access to our code, to be able to, another person or user, because we look forward to launching our program. So someone who has access to our program to be able to type in his code and type in anything, and then those things are evaluated as if we actually type them here. So that's where input is very nice. Okay, so we are beginning to build console applications using Python, right? So let's see how to do that. So to do it, you just need a function called input. Python makes life very easy for us. So say I just call this how should I say it? Okay, name, ask name. That's what I give to it. And over here, I'm asking the name, what? Space, right? So what is your name with space? So once I do that, I can always call this ask name and say print whatever that person entered. Okay, I need to print it out for us. Let me make this bigger. Sorry. So sorry, maybe I didn't remember to make that bigger. So to make sure you see it even on your mobile phone. Sorry about that. I'm not using a mouse. With a mouse, I can scroll without scrolling this bottom one. What I didn't like, why I didn't like to increase it before, it's because of this bottom one. But with mouse, you can just scroll this one without affecting this one. All right. So we want to print this. So how do we print this? Ask name. Just print ask name, and that will print it out for us. So here you go. What is your name? Z6. And it prints Z6. Okay, I can ask again. What is your name? Let me clear the screen. So nasty. My God, it's so nasty. So I want to print that again. So pi the input dot py. What is your name? Hmm, um, Warren. Is that the correct spelling? Okay, that's my name. So one more time. Okay, so we can just improve this by adding f. Remember what I told you? Open and close it. Then for every uh, variable, make sure you add this. Okay, so you can say my name is, and even add full stop if you wanted. So that works well. Let me stop this and run that again. So what is your name? So Brian Tracy. My name is Brian Tracy. Okay. I use these names not for anything, but these are people that will inspire you. Okay, these are men that really inspire you. So without any bias, okay, you can check out those names and get inspired with their authority. Okay, I use the first one, Warren Buffett, and then Brian Tracy. So check them out and why I'm using them. I also have another one I can use. What is your name? James. Okay, so you can also check out my best novelist and this one. I play with programming like this and I never get tired of it. I don't know why I scrolled that thing down. Okay, so check them out. You really love their books. Okay, and my favorite bassist also. Okay, these are men that have inspired me over the years. Is it K? No, it's C. Yeah, one of the world's greatest bassists. Okay, so back to business. We've been able to play around with our small application. So you can always use this once you use input, it works well, right? So all you need to do, open the input tag, open the input with these curly braces, okay, and use it. So you can ask several questions. Okay, for example, you can change this to F name and have this one as S name and have this last one as age. Okay, so first name, your last name, okay, your age. So another exercise to my guys, my students, my dear students. So with this knowledge you have gained now, your exercise should be print out this line, like let it be my details. Name is, okay, my name is, say you use John Doe, right? Or any name you used, and I am, maybe you use 20 years old, right? 20 years old. So, and let me just give you something. You run into errors here. So let me just tell you beforehand, please, because of casting, okay? Because of casting, you will need to do this. Um, okay. Okay. All right. So you need to cast that input. Let's see how that will work for you. So try to print this and let's see how that works for you. So take a minute print those, then come back to the video while I sort it out for you. Pause. So I guess we are back. Right? All right, so let's try that out first. So we want to print my name is this. My name is John Doe. First name, last name, his name, right? And I am. So let's leave it this way first. Test it and it works, right? My God. Let me make this come up a bit. So let me run this again. John Doe 25. Okay. So my name is John Doe and I'm 25. It should be 25. So we'll correct this, okay? So that's good. So let's change this one to age. Age and run it again. John Doe 40. Okay, that works well. So it works well for some reasons. Okay, we've not gotten to where we'll need to cast this. Okay, with calculations, we need to cast this, but since we don't need it for now, it just works with this. So you don't need that int integer to cast it to be an integer. So just leave it this way. My name is John Doe and I'm 40. So like this should do. This should work out for you, and then you have your input for the rest of them. So this is pretty much what what you can digest for this video, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited that you're able to make it up to this point. And thank you very much for following up in my classes and the Z6 classes as well. Thank you very much for subscribing to Z6. Z6 is a well-known company, registered company, limited, right? So I personally thank you, and I thank all subscribers of Z6. I thank all viewers, those who have commented, and the rest of them. Just keep telling others, inviting others who are especially interested in tech to come and learn from Z6. We offer the best tutorials, and we try to simplify every complex thing so that you understand it very well to the into, okay, the nitty-gritty of it, okay, not just understanding, and then when you are given a task you are afraid. Okay, we want you to have that confidence. Okay, you can confidently tell someone, give me any program, let me write. I can do this, I can do that. That I can attitude, that champion attitude. Muhammad Ali once said on one of his quotes, okay, you have to have the last minute stamina. Okay, that's what champions do. That's what who champions are. So a champion goes to training before others, a champion leaves after others. So this extra work you are learning, having a good foundation, will help you to have that last minute stamina for you to win, for you to become the best you are. Okay, so I love you guys. I love you all. Jesus loves you. Thank you so much. Bye.